Hi folks, how you doing? Somebody sent me this Hornby Rougemont Castle to look at because it's completely dead. Turn on the power, nothing happens. They also sent me 5 other locomotives to look at, so I've got a bit of a job lot to work on. So we'll have a look at the others, but I want to look at this one first. I'm not sure how old this model is, but it's from my point of view, this is quite a modern locomotive. So there may be a few things here that I've not come across before, so this could get quite interesting, and I'll certainly be getting the service sheet for it. Right, let's get it to the bench and see if we can see what's going on. So I believe this is the R2795M. It is very nice, I have to admit. I do like the castles. I'm having a look at the underside here. I'm seeing a problem straight away. There's pickups touching all of the wheels apart from this wheel here, and I can actually see the pickup. I don't know if you can see this, but the pickup is actually stuck under the underframe. It's made in China, this model, and it's apparently DCC ready. Not that that will make much difference to me. So I think we have to get this out and see what's going on. Screwdriver. Let's undo this. That allows me to remove the drawbar. Screw here at the front. Right, is this just going to lift out? Yes, it is. Good. Looking at the service sheet for this, this one doesn't have it, but some appear to have a front light fitted, but this one doesn't seem to have it. Right, let's put the body somewhere safe. So let's have a look. We've got a motor, little PCB there, capacitor. It all looks fine, but really I want to see what's going on under this underframe. So we've got 3 screws here to undo. That's interesting. As soon as I relax that screw, that pickup pinged back. So that's very interesting. And good news, it's not crushed, or hopefully anyway, not damaged. This is holding in the front bogie as well. There we go. That's that out. And that out. So this pickup here was crushed under the underframe, but that'll be fine as long as we put the underframe back correctly. That should be okay. However, one thing I didn't notice is this front wheel is very, very stiff. There's play in that wheel, and this is the drive wheel. That's connected to the gear. That's fine, but that is very, very stiff. Does this lift off now? So this is the collector assembly, I would call it. Right, I think we'll loosen this to see if I can get a bit of play, a bit of room to manoeuvre with these wires. If not, I'm going to have to desolder them. So does that now just lift off? Yes, it does. Okay, I think I've got the pickup assembly out enough to see what's going on. And visually, I don't see why that's so stiff. Yep, the bearings are seized. So I don't know what's happened there, but these bearings, or bushes, I've got really seized onto the axle. So I'm going to have to try and clean up this axle somehow. I wish I could get this out the road. I'm going to try some contact cleaner. It's good stuff, this WD-40 contact cleaner. Okay, so I've cleaned up this axle and I've got the bearings moving, but they're still a wee bit stiff, so I think we just need to get some fresh oil in this just to get things moving again. They're moving nice and freely now. That's looking a bit better. Just give everything a wee drop of fresh oil. Not too much. I think we've freed up the wheel. So let's see if we can get this back and get the pickups all back in position. So this is going to be ultra fiddly. Just pull these wires back through to pull that pickup assembly down, and then with a bit of faff and fiddle, Jesus, this is probably approaching the point where I switch the camera off, because I'm probably going to start cursing and swearing, because this is just too fiddly for words. Right, after a horrendous amount of fiddling around, I've got the pickups in place and get this under frame back. I did have to switch the camera off because sometimes I need to be alone. Basically, I just taped everything down so temporarily just to hold it in place, and that let me get it all back together eventually. But even with everything in place, it's still a fiddle. I really don't like these pickup assemblies. It's similar to the one that was in the Flying Scotsman that I worked on. It was a nightmare as well. Before I manipulate that back into position, let's just see if we've got any. Let's just see if we've got a working motor. Nothing. And we shall try apply some power directly to the motor, see what happens. Oops, well, that's a strong magnet. So it works, but there's no power getting through from the wheels. Right, I'm wondering if there's a lack of contact. There's something missing. Something should be plugged in here to complete the circuit. Okay, so after a little bit of investigation, there should be a little set of pins on this circuit board, and that would connect the wires from the pickups to these wires here via this little circuit board. Just show you here. There's the little set of pins that should plug into the little circuit board here, and on this service sheet anyway, there's this wiring loom for a front light for the locomotive, but I don't have any of that, and I don't have this little set of pins. So all I really need to do is connect up the wires from the pickups here to the wires going to the motor. Now at the moment both sets of wires are soldered to this little circuit board, but there's no connection between them, so all I need to do is just bridge the wires there, and that will connect up the circuit, and it will run absolutely fine under DC. So time to get the soldering iron out and a little bit of wire. Okay, just snip that off. Okay, so that's me soldered the wires from the pickups to the motor at the back of this little circuit board. So in theory, this should now go. And it does. Alright, let's get this little circuit board back into position. Make sure all that's running sweet. And that should be us, I think. Let's put this back together and see how it goes. There we go, get that undone. There, get it in place first, and then it should sort itself. Like that. And hopefully that is now a working Rougemont Castle. Let's go and pop on the layout with the tender and see how it goes. Yeah, you can tell you can tell from the fact that I'm back here with this in bits that it didn't work. The motor spins fine, but the locomotive does not move. And I have found that the problem is the gear on the axle here. This gear here is slipping, so I can turn the wheel there. That's a big problem, because I don't think you can buy those gears separately. I may be wrong, I'll have to do some digging around online, but I don't think you can buy those separately, or the axles, but maybe you can. But what I'm going to try meantime is just try and get all the oil out of here and see if I can just super glue this on, because I don't think the gear is split. It's just slipping on its, on the spline on the axle. So if I can get the oil out and try some super glue, it might just hold, because otherwise, if I can't get an axle and gear, it may be a case of getting an entire new wheel set, which, well, it's not that expensive if I can get hold of them, but it's quite a big job to, replace the wheels. However, we'll clean this up and we'll see what super glue does. Okay, so off camera, I've done a bit of fiddling around with this. Yeah, especially when it's someone else's locomotive, I sometimes just like to concentrate on what I'm doing and not worry about filming it and talking about it as I'm doing it. So switch the camera off to concentrate on what I was doing. And what I've done is I've super glued the slipping gear onto the axle. Let's say if the axle had been split, that would have been a pointless exercise, but the axle isn't split, it's just slipping. So I put some super glue on and let that set, for a good few hours. I also changed the angle of the motor a little bit. I didn't quite like the gear mesh at all. So just a wee bit of plastic at the back of the motor just to angle it a little bit, and I think that'll make a difference. Yeah, so this has been a very interesting project to work on, and extremely fiddly at times. Right, let's go and stick this on the layout now, and hope that it runs okay. I didn't film it the last time I did this. I put it on, did a quick test, and it went oh dear. So let's go and try it now, and this time I will film exactly what happens. Right, so let's turn up the power. That looks good to me. Well, that seems to run okay now, so I think that's been a success at the end of the day. Right, John, it's sorted. Okay folks, catch you later.